long are you on for?
I'm on from 11 to 2.
Oh my God.
What was just happening?
So feel free.
Oh, yeah, we were just listening to Amy Goodman talking about how she and a couple of her colleagues were arrested.
Amy Goodman from Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, and their website will be updated within the hour, hopefully.
That's right. Well, the press conference there, the video is there right now, and then we'll put on what we did on our show today as well. We spoke with Congressman Keith Ellison, who is the Minneapolis congressman, deeply disturbed about what is happening here, and we spoke with the National Lawyers Guild that has their hands full, along with the ACLU, because there are so many people. So far, there are around 300 arrests. The police chief here referred to the criminals, getting the criminals, but given that we're three of the people who were arrested, two of us charged with felony riot, one of us charged with misdemeanor, we were deeply concerned about who else is there in the prison cells. So yes, and we saw this is not unprecedented. In 2004 in New York, where we are based, the Republican National Convention, 1,800 arrests, people were held for 48 and 72. It just went on hours. And afterwards, they just figured, we'll deal with it as it happens. Okay, we do the payout, whatever. But at least, until President Bush had spoken, they had people on the pier in these big warehouses. Here, I was held in the garage of the police station. They have these pens for the people arrested. Nicole and Sharif went to jail, and basically, this is about yesterday afternoon. They were covering a protest, as there were all day. This was at 7th and Jackson in St. Paul.
Now, this was the anti-war.
Yes,
right?
this was the
peaceful anti-war protest organized in advance, told the whole world we're going to do this. Something like 50,000 people down there?
There were tens of thousands. I'm not sure what the numbers were. Police moved in. Nicole was filming. Nicole is a Democracy Now! Producer. They moved in on her, and as she shouted, "Press, press," clearly she had that necklace with her press ID on it, showing it to them filming. They pushed her to the ground, told her to get her face in the ground, put a boot in her back, pulling her leg at the same time as they're telling her to keep her face in the ground, and take the battery out of her camera. If you're wondering what they didn't want to happen right there, which is about filming. Sharif gets arrested, thrown up against a wall. He's bloodied, she's bloodied. I get the word on the convention floor. I'm interviewing delegates. I race to have them freed, go to the riot police, say, "Let me talk to your commander." They immediately pull me behind the lines, handcuff me like they handcuffed them, demand that I sit down, take my stuff. When I say I've got the credentials, as they do, the Secret Service comes and rips the credentials off, and we all go off to jail.
It's interesting. I'm just watching on the screen here. It's MSNBC, and I was just reading the closed captioning. I obviously can't hear it, and it said, "Violent anarchists attack delegates at convention."
Yeah. So here we are on the Tom Hartman program on Air America Radio, sitting with three violent anarchists.
Watch out.
Amy, hot for Shalom, yeah. Amy Goodman of Democracy Now!, of course, democracynow.org, Sharif Hamdel-Kadous, and Nicholas Salazar, producers for this program. Amy, you mentioned the database as we were going into the last break. The preemptive, the Fourth Amendment says that, you shall be secure in your home, in your personal effects. Here we had, before the convention even started, police coming in, kicking in doors, at gunpoint, holding guns to people's heads while they're going through their houses, taking their computers. This chaotic situation. Well, tell me what you know about this.
Well, we followed this. We were all here on Saturday. We followed one of these raids, and it was at the house of the eyewitness video. They're documenting what's happening here, what happened in Denver, what happened in 2004 at the Republican convention. They have endless hours of videotape. I hardly consider these people violent. What they are is preserving democracy in this country, right? Thomas Jefferson was asked if you had a choice of government or free press, which would you choose? And he said it was a free press, the watchdog of democracy, and that's what they were doing. They were pulled out of the house in handcuffs. Their stuff was taken. Everything was strewn all over. We have all the videotape of this. Ultimately, they were released. But it was not only this house. As we're covering all of this, which was quite shocking, AR-15s, pistols, drawn. We hear down the block, there's another raid. So we go tearing down the block. In fact, it wasn't a house raid. It was three young people on bicycles who'd actually left the eyewitness video house on their bicycle. They were riding a couple blocks down. And they were swooped down on. Police made them lay down on the ground. They go through all of their things. So anyone then associated with this peaceful, nonviolent, democratic group that is dedicated to preserving democracy in this country, they are then taken. They're not taken away, but they're held. This sets up a climate of fear. 2 weeks ago, and we interviewed people from the Glass Bead Collective. They're based in New York. They've come here to document what is going on in St. Paul. And they go to pick up a person at Greyhound at 1 in the morning. They've got bicycles, but they're walking along, and they have everything taken from them. Their computers, their cameras. These are the violent weapons that the police are talking about. These are actually the tools of their trade, of simply being good reporters.